Yeah.
Topics. We're going to have little things. You can digitise little name tags.
I'll do a little switch in the box.
Who we are.
We're here at the Bohemia pub. Bohemia pub. That's the home of the London Brewery Company.
So in North Finchley.
In North Finchley, North London.
Tony's hometown.
My hometown with Angus from AMS and
You do?
and Rob from Porsche and Park.
Witness protection. So you're going to blank,
I'll blur out your face.
blur out my face, pixelate it if you will.
This is the first of many, we hope.
Hope so.
We
tried it in Holland, didn't we, to be fair on that
We've
trip?
been trying to make Rob the face of our podcast.
I see what's happening here. This is a massive rouge.
Let us know in the comments if they think that Rob should be
That I should be the face of these podcasts.
Yeah, it's good looking.
Is he good looking enough? That's the question.
Just a bit more suntan, we'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
An Essex tan, yeah. Or just a few more of these and it'll be fine.
Chat about beer and Porsche.
Yeah.
In any particular order.
What could go? Yeah.
How do we all say it? Porsche or Porsche?
Depends which customer it is.
How do you close the 911 door?
Don't touch the glass. That's one of them. I don't know. Porsche or Porsche? That's a good one.
I always thought it was
Someone's commented on some of our stories before when we've done features and someone said Porsche.
Porsche.
No, it's Porsche.
Yeah, I tend to say Porsche.
Porsche, I'd say Porsche. Yeah.
You say Porsche?
I say Porsche.
Why say more syllables than required?
Because otherwise,
What was required?
Porsche in the park sounds like you're all going to be seeing some model in sort of bathing costume somewhere in the park,
I know what you mean.
rather than Porsche in the park.
It doesn't have quite a ring to it either.
No,
Like
it's
Porsche in the past, so
But yeah.
sounds better.
It slides off the tongue.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with Porsche.
Porsche for the geezer.
Porsche. Talking about beer and
Talking about
Porsche.
Porsche in the park, how's it going?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there this year. Last year was numero uno, and a bit crazy with the weather, but went well. Didn't have any major complaints. We had a few people kind of, not many cars here. Well, one complaint was there's no Carrera GTs here. So I was like, well, they're not able to drive them, so that's why they're not here.
What's the story with the
Do you know what it is? I think it's something to do with why they're off the road.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's something, I could be wrong, so comments below. I think it's something to do with the rear suspension and a joint in the
I'll
rear
be honest,
suspension.
we don't look after the Pro GTs. No, it's not my everyday thing. So I don't see
Don't
it.
know.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
No, there's definitely a stop drive on them. I don't know how long that's.
So you failed at the first question already.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going well.
Well, no, don't have one. If I had one, I might know the answer. Yeah. No,
I've looked this one.
no idea.
Porsche in the park was Goodwood was the same time, right? And that was cancelled for the first time.
Yeah, last year.
Goodwood was cancelled.
Festival Speed cancelled there Saturday, the 15th of July last year, yeah. Because it was windy. I mean, we had a little kind of like HQ gazebo that I think lasted about an hour and then just collapsed in the wind.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't
Well,
bad.
it wasn't that bad.
I mean, we've got a video about it and you had a good time.
Yeah, we had a flag up, it didn't fall over.
It's more sturdy than my gazebo. Someone did say, if you buy cheap, buy twice.
Yes,
That could be it. I might have to upgrade the gazebo for this year. But yeah, no, Goodwood was cancelled. We had quite a few that were going come through to see us, which was great.
So that's a bit of a touch there, really.
Well, yeah, error in doing it the same time frame. But we chose the date, the venue, and we just rolled with it. So, yeah.
Are you going to change it this year then? You're going to have it in
We're
July?
on the 21st of July.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's a good week, 2 weeks between us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should be okay. So yeah.
I don't think I've ever asked you what the story was behind Porsche in the park. How did that start?
Well,
Had a few drinks.
had a few. A few people have asked me that. Why are you doing this? And it was one of those like kind of my two kids. I've been dragged to sort of a few car shows. Bicester Heritage do a great scramble, but the bit for them was kind of, well, how many more of these cars can we see? It's all the same type of thing. And I like Porsche, so an event that was a bit more family orientated, a few other things going on during the day, I thought was going to be something that would keep us wanting to be there because we got our cars there, and so the other halves and kids weren't moaning for the full duration of the day.
More of a day.
More of a day, yeah. So live
day
music, you know, a bar, motocross display, because I mean, who doesn't love a motorbike jumping over cars? Just jumping.
It was cool.
It was just yeah. I did walk away from that when they were jumping over mine.
They started moving your car further and further away. And,
yeah. At that point, it was. I'll just go and see if everything's okay somewhere else.
Go check the gazebo.
Yeah, which is damaged.
It's flown off.
It's gone. Harebrained idea, I think, which is just. It's been great fun organising it and talking to everyone involved and meeting everyone. It's I think like a lot of your stuff, it's a community. So having companies like Angus, AMS there to support it, because at the end of the day, everything costs money to be there. The venue is expensive. Everything you can think of. I mean, I never knew how much a toilet. How much a toilet was for a day.
How much is a toilet?
Yeah. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, is it?
Well, a lot of money. They were luxury caravan toilets or whatever you call them, luxury trailers. Definitely more than the kind of the portaloos that you have at festivals, which I didn't really want. I didn't think I wanted that vibe.
No.
For the show, it's a little bit more classy, I want to say.
Yeah.
Bit of a nicer affair. So, So 21st of July this year. Fingers crossed, it's not going to hammer it down and be really windy.
Yeah, fine. Can't do it twice, can I?
But you know, if we can get some Design 911 beer there, then I don't think anyone will really care. And a big tent and a big gazebo is probably what's required.
Did I hear you two talking about community? You're both part of the WhatsApp group and stuff, is that?
Yeah, there's this Redbourne Porsche Club, RPOC, which is a great bunch, which obviously you're a member of.
Yep.
I think there's about 110 members to the club at the moment, which is Hertfordshire based, I suppose, maybe a few further afield. And they're great at putting on different events, kind of concourse events, and all the people involved are just like-minded individuals.
Real enthusiasts, I think, rather than some of these clubs can be very. I don't want to say the word boring. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, exactly. And these guys, they're generally good fun to be around. We've done a few drive-outs. And it's all good fun. We're doing the first track day this Friday, aren't we?
Friday track day, Bedford. Which will be interesting.
Cars with kids,
really wet.
Angus, what car are you taking?
So I'm going to take my race car, the Boxer race car. It's nearly the start of the season, so it's blow some cobwebs off it and me. Just a few laps in and see how we get on, really.
Oh, amazing. And then, Robbie, I take it you're in the 996, obviously. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, trusty, old trusty.
The old trusty.
Yeah. Four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive. I mean, I followed you down here in the rain this evening, and it looked good on the road. You know, it's
just blind. Basically. Just lots of water.
Do you do a lot of work for the guys in the
Red Bull
Porsche Club with it?
I don't know exactly how many of them are members, but customers rather. But certainly 10 or 15 of them we look after their cars. Maybe more. I'm not sure. I mean, it's local to our workshop, so that surrounding area. So obviously
down the road, isn't it? Literally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A good few we look after their cars.
It is handy. I mean, I dropped mine off to you some time back for the roll bars that we got H&R roll bars from you guys.
Oh, you did,
and Angus Fitch.
You spied them, yeah.
When I dropped the car, normally in the past I've used Jazz over in St Albans, and the only problem that I find with any work on the car is A, getting the car there, sorting the kids out for school, getting to work, and then picking it up. Whereas with Angus, I actually drove it and then ran home.
You run off. You have a bike.
That's the second time to pick
Yeah,
it up.
you had a bike on the roof, or
The road bike does actually fit in the back of a 996.
Oh, another customer had on the roof. But
So you drove there and run?
I drove the car, ran home,
How far?
and then on pickup,
it's about a quarter of a mile.
That's not too bad.
200 metres.
Yeah.
I did get lost going through the fields. Probably about 150k by the time I turned around.
Double man, Iron Man.
I then decided that actually I was going to ride the bike to pick it up. And
You're about 3 miles away, but there is a big hill. I'll give you that.
Yeah, thank you.
There is a big hill.
Yeah. And 6 pubs.
Yeah.
A big hill. But yeah, you can get a road bike in the back of the 996, which is pretty cool. Which is good. If you're my height, that's probably
So what
about
have you done
1%.
on the 996 C4, right?
Yeah.
What have you done on it?
Gordon Bennett. We've done, most recently was the roll bar, H&R roll bar, Bill Stein suspension. They lowered it to a GT3 height, put some wheel spacers on it, clutch, AMS, RMS. And then I don't think you guys still do it, it's like an direct oil feed. Have you ever fitted one of those?
To the IMS.
To the IMS.
Yeah.
So
Quite a while back.
that tends to be the LN version.
Yeah.
You guys used to sell one. I'm sure I got that from you quite a few years back.
Yeah, the EPS.
EPS we generally fit these days. I can't remember underneath your car now, to be honest with you, on the spot, but the LN kit, I'm sure you supply that. We don't fit that many of them, to be honest.
Yeah. Is that the kit and the feed, or just the bearing?
It comes in the kit. It's a direct feed off the oil filter system,
That's it.
basically. Yeah.
So it just basically squirts oil constantly out the bearing.
You just get a separate supply line, a few inches long, which it's not actually bearing, it's a bush.
Oh,
So there's no moving parts
okay.
in that particular design.
Fine.
What's the benefits in that?
It just, in theory, doesn't wear out. It's spins constantly, provided it's lubricated, whereas bearing of any design can fail, although we don't see it with the upgraded ones. But the ceramic rollers, rather than the balls, tend to be bulletproof. But in theory, with no moving parts, there's a bush. It does still spin, but there's no individual parts, only one piece basically. As long as it's lubricated constantly, it won't fail.
It's the biggest thing that is spoken about with the older cars, isn't it? The 996, for example, and some of the Boxer engines is the IMS. You just
That
Comes up on
ball
the-
scoring, yeah.
ball scoring, yeah.
Is everyone that buys a 996
Petrified of
Google
it.
IMS?
Yeah, I think so.
Every phone call we get a phone call a day from someone looking to buy a 996 or a 997, anything Gen 1 basically, and it's always IMS ball scoring, worrying.
Worry
Yeah.
rather than
I've read on the
fail.
internet.
So
I've
is it the
googled.
996 owners worry about IMS and the 997 worry about the ball scoring more?
Yeah, I mean, they're all, statistically, there are certain engines which are more prone to different things, statistically, but they're generally speaking all capable of everything. As a rule of thumb, the bigger the capacity, the more likely it is going to be ball score. And if it's a single row, smaller bearing, that's statistically the one that's going to fail, but we've seen all 3 designs fail. It's just statistics and your luck, really.
But you've not seen many fails, or have you had many?
IMS, IMS, nowhere near as much as the internet leads you to believe. We build at least 3 or 4 engines a week, and 9 out of 10 of them are ball scoring or crankshaft bearing failure, not IMS bearing failure.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, and they were all sort of 3.6, 3.8, 3.4, or?
Hey, it's a mixed bag. It's generally Gen 1 stuff, 996, 997, 36, 38s, depending on which model, 3.4s. We've got a few 3.4s on the go at the moment. But it's, I think if you look at statistics, a 996 3.4 will have a crank failure or maybe a cracked cylinder head. That's quite common. We're doing quite a few of those at the moment. 996, 36 and 997 generally is ball score.
Right.
I can't remember the last time I did an IMS bearing failure.
You used to buy quite a lot of us, didn't you?
Oh, we still buy them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still we fit one. We fit an upgraded from you guys every single build we do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, everyone we do, and loads of people do it preemptively anyway without an engine
Yeah,
build.
that's what I
Just
did.
with a clutch, like
Clutch,
say,
yeah.
you know, do a clutch, rear main. Whilst you're there, do an IMS. But as a rule of thumb, I think we're probably, I don't know, maybe one every 6 weeks it's actually failed. I think so many cars have been done now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there tends to be a statistic. Again, it's only statistics, but generally speaking, if you get to a certain mileage and it hasn't erupted, it won't. As a rule of thumb, you know, you can't make guarantees, but
Generally, that's the.
generally, if you clear
So
as
when
well.
it goes, does the shaft snap? Is that what happens?
No, but in real simple terms, the bearing fails, and that's what supports the shaft.
Yeah.
And so the shaft has flex or locks up sometimes,
Right,
and you lose your cam timing. If you're lucky, you'll get bent valves.
We've had many people in the past that have fitted iron EPS bearings come back to us. So there's something wrong with the bearing, which is it's never the case. You know, usually have a bit of scoring around one side of the actual flange.
Right.
And usually, 9 times out of 10, the shaft is snapped and it's just rattling around.
We don't see many snap, to be honest. I mean, I have seen it, but it's not a common thing.
No.
And
We don't get a lot, but it's just,
we've seen a few installed, how to say it diplomatically, ham-fisted. We've seen a few of them, but
Generally not.
generally no.
So mainly bore scoring over IMS issues.
Yeah, vast majority is ball score.
I think I've got a bit of that. on cylinder 6 apparently is got a bit of
You do a lot
scoring.
of water, don't you?
We do a hell of a lot. Yeah, that's our core thing. But there's ball scoring, and then there's ball scoring.
Yeah.
Lots of people have mild symptoms, and
It's going to happen, isn't it? It's an interference fit, isn't it? So,
whilst it can manifest and get worse,
yeah.
lots of people are blissfully unaware.
Ignorance is bliss. I'm going to go with that.
Question, so if I bought a 996 tomorrow and it came to your place and said, look, I haven't got a clue about my car, can you have a look over and make sure it's right? What would you look for first? What would be the first thing you looked at?
I mean, you could write on a piece of paper 10 things that these. I mean, don't forget they're all of age now. You know, the oldest the newest 996 was 2005, which is nearly 20 years ago. So lots of cars have had loads of maintenance throughout, and they've been kept on top of. But most of them need what we call the big birthday, which tends to be shocks, brake lines, loads of brake lines. They're just not designed to last. Exactly. You can write on a piece of paper, but they are all the same age. So they're all going to suck, generally speaking. You know, you get some garage queens that have never done anything. You get some cars that have been in Scotland or lived in the sea, and they're much worse. But generally speaking, they're all really want a set of shocks. Disc and pads is just consumable stuff, but shocks, brake lines, suspension cross braces,
Bushes, coffin arms.
all that kind of stuff, which is age-related wear and tear. But they're 20 years old. You have to remember that.
Engine mounts.
Engine
I've done those. Engine mounts.
You could coolant pipes on 997s.
Yeah, you did mine recently, I think. Air conditioning,
Air
condensers, radiators.
condensers. I mean, a lot of it is maintenance and where it's kept and who looks after it, and keep debris out and all that kind of stuff. But
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, if you go to Auto Trader or something like that for a 996, like the C4S, the most expensive one there is about 36,000. The cheapest is probably about 19.
yeah, it's a hell of a range.
So it's a big range, but I've got receipts for the same value as what I paid for the car in 2015. So it's the same value. Yeah.
What to say? There's no such thing as a cheap Porsche.
No.
As a general rule, again, this is general, but you know, if you buy a cheap car, it probably wants
Everything doing on it.
a third or half the value you're spending on it. Buy the car right from someone who's looked after it, either privately or through one of the many businesses that are out there. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be all right.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But then there's always something. It's old. There's always something.
It is, like you say, yeah. 2005. I think mine's a 2004.
Robbie, was that
20 years old.
that 996? Was that your first Porsche?
Yeah,
That was your
2015
first one?
I've had that.
Really?
So it's part of the family now.
It's
It's been a nightmare ever since. Yeah, me and the kids call him Neville the 911. I don't know why we name cars, but
I was going to say,
we've always
how'd you
named
get-
cars.
How'd you get the name Neville? Where did that come from?
Just Neville the 911, just kind of rhymed, yeah.
It does sound good.
We had the only one, we had Bruce the BMW, yonks and yonks ago. That was like the daily slug the kids around to school and things. We had a BMW 3 Series. And then random, I went to an auction. Have you ever bought a car at auction?
No.
Yeah. You take your chances.
Have you done it? Yeah. Wow. I mean,
Never been a good experience.
it's incredible, really, isn't it? I mean, I went to it was a BCA one up at Bedford, and they give you I thought, right, I'm going to be diligent here. I'm going to look through the everything online. I'm going to print off all the dockets and know which cars are all coming through. I'm going to highlight the things that are of interest to me. And then on the day, they just basically go, right, let's just reorder that spreadsheet by the first letter of the registration plate or something. So you're like, hang on, what's going on? And the cars come in, and I think they were selling a car every like 15 seconds. A shutter would go up, a car would come in, that would go down, and it would just crawl for about 6 meters. Another shutter would go up and it would drive off, and it was sold. So the guy's talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I was in the right fluster. I thought I need to get like a diesel Audi A3 just to slug about in. That was it. That was my criteria. I ended up coming out with an A3 petrol turbo, FSI or something, which I only realised when I went to the petrol pump to fill it up, because I bought it in about 6 seconds. Just came through.
And you didn't want to walk home.
I was with a guy from work, and he just got to look to me and goes, what happened there? I went, I think I've just bought a car.
Well, since COVID, BCA is all online. So,
Yes.
so you literally, the guy's talking flat out, you see a picture of a car on the screen. I mean,
Yeah, I've
that's
done.
it.
Yeah, that was my second timing of doing it. But the first time, when you actually physically go there, and you can have like a fry up and a coffee, and
Dirty
you can
bird.
walk around the cars. And then there's guys from, I don't know, it's Car Giant. Is that still a thing? Car Giant. Is it? Is it?
Carland.
Carland, Pound, Car Wow. I don't know what they're called, but
Carwell is the...
is that something else?
Yeah, that's the.
Oh.
You get different offers.
Carwell was when I bought somebody's little review car.
That's it. Yeah, no, that's yeah.
Oh.
No, you're right.
I'm thinking of something else though. Or one of these big car supermarkets is probably the best word, isn't it? And these guys would be on the phone, and the car would come in, and they'd kind of walk around it and just sort of touch it in certain places, as if they knew that, okay, that's a good car. It was a bizarre experience. Well, that's what I was doing. Sort of walking around going, yeah, kicking the tyres. No, I didn't. I literally had no idea what I bought by the time it came out. I do remember getting to the petrol station, just going, why won't this diesel hose go into the car? It's a petrol.
This was electric.
Yeah. Let's not knock electric.
Angus, me and Tom spoke about buying a project. A couple of projects.
Yeah, we have actually. Yeah, we'd love to.
If you could advise two young guys like us,
One
handsome,
One young, one handsome. Yeah.
young guys.
Okay.
What we're called an air cool, what would you advise us to? Small budget,
Air cool.
Air cooled.
one air cooled, one water cooled. Small budget.
Well, you killed it straight away with a small budget. With
Air cool's out the window.
Yeah, that's
See you later.
yeah. Well, you are well placed to get good parts though.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know anyone?
Do you know anyone that does parts?
I mean, there's a Porsche for every budget, isn't there? That's quite a thing. So if you want water cooled, boxes where you start, isn't it? 986 Boxster, they're cheap and cheerful.
944.
944. Yeah, I mean, again, we've got a few of them in the workshop at the moment, and they are. There's two categories: either mint and kept on top of, or
Needs
needs a lot, and it's on a
Yeah.
shoestring, and we're really struggling. And they have fuel lines, things like that, which are a real nightmare to deal with. Corrosion, a lot of corrosion.
Fuel rails, common issues, set fire.
They just perish, and there's some steel lines that go to the rear axle, which are a real pig to change.
You go over the top of the axle.
Yeah. And there's solutions. You can make pipes up, and there are ways around things, but it's not easy, pleasant work. And with the nature of a cheap car, the general consensus is you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, but it's just hard work. And the recipe doesn't work. You know, it doesn't.
a disaster, isn't it?
You can't really do it cheaply unless you do it yourself.
You can tell with the 944 though, because if you flash the lights and it winks at you,
that's a good sign, isn't it? It's a good start. But I think if you were, it's got to be a Boxster. It's got to be a Boxster 986. Where else? I mean, they're brilliant. I was speaking to a good mate of mine last night actually, who's got a 2.7 Boxster 986, well under 10 grand.
wow.
And
brilliant.
and it's a lot of fun. You know, by modern standards, they're not rocket ships. You know, a Golf will beat it, really, if we're honest. But when the sun's shining, roof's down, for sub 10 grand, it makes the right noise. As long as it's sort of there or thereabouts mechanically, how much more do you want for 10 grand?
Yeah, because we just 944s doing potentially.
Because they make a bit of a comeback, don't they?
Yeah.
Very retro.
I think they're brilliant looking
They're
cars.
classic, yeah.
My one that's fallen to pieces and cost you a hell of a lot. And finding the parts as well.
It's all bad, you know. Personally, you know, people always say, "Oh, I want a 911," and to be honest, the 996 has taken a bit of a dive recently on money. So a decent 996 that was probably 20s, early 20s after COVID is now probably mid-teens, if we're honest, realistically. Yeah, silver ones. Yeah.
Especially silver ones. It's decreased in value, kind of driven it up here in the rain.
In the rain, yeah, exactly. You can't do that.
But do you think, so if you're saying if there's like a 986 and you say that it's mechanically sound or whatever, do you think two idiots like us could do change like what, suspension maybe or like
Yeah, of course you can.
actually
Yeah, of course you can. I mean, there's no reason to be scared. It's only a car.
I now want to see this happen.
And the podcast
How
number
much
2.
can we get? I'm thinking of it as forcing part of sponsorship here. We can
We'll
do
host the
something.
podcast and we'll
They can get the parts, and we can just watch this Boxster crabbing it up the M1 because the suspension's completely off. Oh, that sounds good. I'm intrigued.
air-cooled. But I mean, starting point of air-cooled is still quite high.
What is the starting point, do you think, then, for an air-cooled now? And what is it?
I mean, you can get. It's probably a toss-up between a 912 or well, they've gone up quite a bit recently. It's probably a 3.2 Carrera or 3-litre SC still. But then,
SC and a 3.2 now?
but, well, it's tricky because a lot of them, sort of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you could buy them quite cheaply and they need a bit of work. But most of them, because they skyrocketed in value, most of them have been sorted now, so they're obviously worth more. I don't think there's that many bargains.
we did that video of Russell, he's just got an SC, I think he got it for under 40 grand. Not that that's cheap.
I say if that's what you call cheap.
Yeah.
It probably is for what it is, but it's not cheap for anything else, is it? In the real world, yeah, for two young, wealthy guys.
Pushing that now.
I think you've got to go 996, haven't you, really? That's got to be
But that kills the.
I'll go with the silver one.
A few more beers, you can take it out.
Well, yeah, you drive me home. I'll sit in the passenger seat and you get me home later.
Yeah, exactly.
SC or 3.2?
Air-cooled, yeah. I mean, personally, I love the 964, and again, there was a time when they were given. I mean, I turned down a left-hand drive car, C2, non-sunroof. It was left-hand drive, but that doesn't bother me. I was offered it for $8,000, and it worked. You know, you need a bit of tidying. But I didn't at the time, I didn't have $8,000. Now they're what? Yeah, it was a few years ago now, but
I don't know what I mean.
50, 60.
A
Yeah.
lot of the users donor cars.
Yeah, Singer and that, buying them up.
Say again, sorry.
Singer.
The donor cars back then.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Becoming rare.
Yeah. That was more with the G series cars, the 3.2s and the 3 litres. 964s, yeah, there have been a few, but not so many.
They are. I mean, that was for me the pivotal model was the Bad Boys film, wasn't it? When that came out in 1995. It's just
It's iconic, isn't it?
It's just amazing. Yeah, and it's. I mean, even now, I would love one of those.
Oh, they're nuts. They are great.
That would be. Well, my kidneys are no good, so I have to sort of left arm. No,
Yeah.
probably have to drive it.
Can I get you another beer?
I'll have one of these 3%.
Go for the low horsepower one.
Yeah, the low HPs. That's probably what you call it. Instead of on the can, Anthony, on the can where you've got the ABV, when you get the beers,
Lots of us.
said the blind man. You should have ABV. You should put like /HP.
Horsepower.
You should check, yeah,
For the
horsepower.
label.
Because then, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, there you go.
Heard it here first.
You want another water?